world come to?
I want hazard pay for this baloney.
I moved out of snow for no snow.
That's not good. I'm going on a cruise out of Port Canaveral on Monday. So,
Well, maybe you're going to go somewhere much warmer
yeah,
to
well,
be later.
it's heading west and south. That's all I know.
Be a little chilly start, but should get warmer. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I was just look at this. I'm like, I just got this. It says Southwest Florida, 11 years ago was the last time we got wet flakes down here.
Wet.
Yeah, but your snow is going to be more entertainment than Trump trouble.
Is. Sure is. It's kind of crazy. I'm not into this right now. Definitely not into this. But, this morning is really cold out. I had to start my car up, which I haven't done since I lived in Connecticut. So it's was 37 degrees this morning.
Okay, so I'm in Minneapolis and I just had a conversation with one of my seniors. She's wants to move to a 55 plus community, and you basically have to pay between 10,000 and 20,000 more for indoor parking, and she does
Yeah.
not want to pay the extra money. And I'm like, gosh, in January when it's 30 below, you're going to be really glad that you had that indoor heated parking. So those are
Heck
probably
yeah.
conversations you guys are not having with your clients.
I have had those
Yeah.
conversations before, but down here it's a little bit different. But see, down here we have the flip side happen where it's you want the covered
Wow.
parking, you want the garage parking, so your dashboard doesn't crumble up and go to nothing
Yeah.
because you have to make sure you protect it from the heat. So it's like two extremes, right?
Yeah.
There's always those two extremes for what we have happening within whatever climate you're in, there's always something. But it is pretty darn cold out there. Does anyone have any awesome wins that they want to share?
Hmm.
Ian? Anything exciting happening? It's awesome that you're talking to a senior client, Cindy, looking for 55 and over.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I go to a networking meeting every Tuesday,
Hmm.
and it's just general business folks, but there are a couple of people there's a gentleman from Oasis Senior Advisors.
Yep, they're great.
There's a gentleman that attends from one of the assisted living and memory care communities nearby. And occasionally we get people coming in from some of the support services like home health care. And the lady came visiting yesterday, and she's actually with Visiting Angels, and she's a regional person around here. And I was cleaning up after the meeting. I was putting chairs away, and for some reason, she decided to help me. And she says, I need to talk to you because I've got people that are afraid to move. They know they need to move, but they don't know what to do. I said, let's have a chat when I get back.
I love that. I love that. So what what happens a lot of times, and you bring up a really good point, they know they have to move. They know that this is something that their kids want them to do, their doctors want them to do, the writing's on the wall, right? But they have too many obstacles in front of them.
Mhm.
And you can position yourself just like I do with my experience, with your experience, with everyone on these calls experience. You position yourself to help them overcome that obstacle. And you
Yep.
have to drill down to find out what it is. Is it the fear of what to do with all the stuff? Is it the fear of leaving a long time home? Is it the fear of loss of control? And you need to drill down. And when they open that door, and say something, you have to walk through that door and just keep asking questions till you get to
Mhm.
the root cause.
Yeah.
Once you can establish that, then you can figure out for them what is going to be the easiest way to avert that. So I'll give you a couple of examples, but What I can say is once you establish yourself in your community as the person who helps people overcome this, you get known as being the closer.
Mhm.
You want to be known as the closer.
That's my goal.
That's
That's my
the
goal
goal.
with my
Exactly.
resource team, etc. So,
Yes. You're the
um,
closer.
yeah,
And so you want to be able to help them overcome all of those challenges so that they're now calling you as a resource. I went on a listing appointment yesterday. I brought one of my newer team members with me, and we met with this woman. It's not that she's not excited about moving into senior living. She knows she has to. She's just like, well, I have a whole house full of stuff. And she really didn't. I mean, look, we've all seen what hoarding houses look
yep,
like. This was not a hoarding house. She just needed some relief of, well, first off, how do I get all my stuff there? How do I identify what's going to fit? And we just walked her through the process of we'll do a schematic for you. We'll figure out what's going to fit on the walls. We make sure that we bring all of your personal items. Any family heirlooms can be divvied up. And we just kept eliminating her fears. And
right,
she was like, where can I sign?
yep,
And we even said we can sell the house turnkey furnished with what's left because she can't really take a lot
mm-mm,
from her unit that she lives in now, which is a condo, into a one bedroom for where she wants to move into. It's just a small, small one bedroom, right? And she says, well, what happens if they don't want everything? Well, then we host an estate sale and get it gone, right? We have people come and get rid of
yep,
it. And then if that doesn't work, then we know we have places on standby for donation pickups.
yep,
She was so relieved. I talked to her sons who don't live in the area. One lives on the east coast of Florida and one up in Pennsylvania. And I talked to them yesterday. And they were like, no problem. Send over the listing agreement. We're moving forward. And that is what you want to give them, that comfortability. And you want to make sure that they know they can call you, not just as a resource, but just first to bounce ideas off of. The one thing I do urge you to do is set your boundaries for when you're available to talk to them. So if it's 8 to 7, make sure you say I'm available from 8 in the morning to 7 at night, or 9 to 6, whatever it works for you. Make sure you do that because they may not really realize the time. It might be 10 at night, been there, done that, and they call you in a panic. So it's just setting those expectations and making sure that you can help them and you're really providing white glove concierge service for them. No different than a first time home buyer. We know this. This is a first time home seller, really. And
yep.
this woman is a widow. And so, that right now she's all by herself and moving into senior living where she has friends already is the obvious next step for her.
And she that independent living for her,
Yeah,
or yeah,
independent living. She just stopped driving because poor thing, when she drove over to the East Coast, she drove into a Jersey barrier. She missed the
oh,
exit. So
you just froze, Felicia. Everybody else is moving.
so now, it says my connection is unstable. Can you all
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, we lost you for about 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah. So this is a good thing because now you're really establishing that role. And now once you meet with the woman from, the contact from Visiting Angels, now you rinse and repeat, like Paul says. Now you do the same thing with everyone within that networking group so that you're all on the same page in the sense of how can we help each other? Did you know I do XYZ?
Yeah, and
Sometimes they
in
just
fact,
need a reminder.
I also attend a local coalition on aging meeting. They
Mhm.
do a gathering once a month, and it's all people from serving this primarily the senior industry. So I've developed a lot of contacts there. In fact, I've got a one-to-one meeting with someone today at 2. So similar service,
Yeah.
but um, the people there, I'm the only realtor in the group, if
Hmm.
you or senior advisor in some way, and I always remind them that I'm the oddball here, but I'd love to tell you what I do and how I help your clients and customers with late life transitions. And
Yeah.
so it's, I just try to set up every month and try to set up, 2 to 3 one-to-ones after that because you can only get to so many people in an hour.
Yeah.
So I building that part up.
And I will say, because I just spoke last week at a big symposium with hundreds of seniors, when I took one word and flipped the script for them, so I just took one word from my elevator pitch, or how I speak about the services, and I flipped it, the response was enormous. So I heard you use the word advisor, and there's a lot of people who use the word advisor. And I used it too. For the symposium, I turned it to strategist or strategy.
Hmm.
And after I was done speaking, I was bombarded by people asking me questions. And we dominated the Q&A at the end. But then once we got off stage, they followed me back to my table where I had one of my agents there, and they were asking me all sorts of questions, down to, you all know I love my book, Keep the Memories, Lose the Stuff, for people who are just having a hard time. But that guide in the back, that resource guide, is just so huge. And I could leave the link in the bottom too. And that resource guide is just so huge for them in the back. And at the end of the day, I didn't quite realize how switching, because I said to um, the moderator, I was like, wow, I had a really good response this time. And she said, well, what did you do differently? And I said, I changed that one word, and it was like a light bulb went off. And you know how Paul talks about this all the time, right? We all been on his calls. We all have heard him say, words matter. And the words you're using are either killing it for you or they're killing you. And I'm always very strategic with how I use my words. But just that one word yielded huge results. I actually started booking listing appointments at my table, which I've never done before at any symposium that I've done, because normally they're over and everyone's like, I've been here since 8 and it's noon and I want to go to lunch, right? They're like, let me get out of here. But it was a huge a huge thing as well. The other thing that I did at my table, and I have it right here, so I'm going to show you all. So watch my blurred background. I bought a wheel. I don't know if you could see it, but I bought a wheel from Amazon.
I bought one too, and I love that I'm getting a lot more interaction when I do the
Yes,
expos. Yeah.
yes,
Except people get crazy like with the prizes.
they do. So I had an enter to win a raffle basket, enter to win one of the books, right? Type of a deal that I had, because I had the book from the Agent Place Conversations with them, an author in from NAIPC. And then I had the Matt Paxton's book as well as like giveaways along with the basket. They could have cared less about the stupid basket. They wanted the books. And I thought it was hysterical. But I also had, and I don't have them here. I do not have them here. I
While you're explaining, Felicia, while you're explaining that, can you tell me how what you had on the wheel
Oh yes.
specifically? I'm sorry. I
So
can't get my
every
words together.
so every other one,
Mm-hmm.
it just repeated itself. One was one entry for raffle, pick your guide. So I created my downloadable lead magnet guides. I printed them out with a printer. And it wasn't I'm going to be honest with you, like I talked to my printer over and over again. I don't want cardstock. I want regular paper, 11 by 17, folded in half. It's a 4-page document, right? So that means that you can have a nice booklet that you just fold over. Regular paper, cheap as chicken, because they're going to throw this stuff out. So I had 2 guides, and then I had pick your guide, 1 raffle ticket. Pick your guide, 2 raffle tickets. Pick your guide, 3 raffle tickets. And then it just repeated. I wish that my ticker was louder because it wasn't loud. But they were like, I want to spin the wheel. I want to spin the wheel. And I'm like, y'all can spin the wheel. But we had so much fun because no one else had anything like that there, right? And it wasn't that I had anything different that I was giving away. It was just a little bit more thoughtful, should I say. And my guides were hold on, let me see. I have them here. I want to make sure I get the titles for you correctly. I know it was, my office is actually a hot mess because cleaning up after these events are crazy. Just go. I sent them to the printer. So
Felicia, while you're sharing that, is it okay if I share something or while you're looking that up?
Absolutely, because I'm going to look that up.
Okay, so Brenda, when you were asking about what's on the wheel, I'm going to share what I did and why Felicia's is so much better. So I went through all of this effort and I had prizes. Like one was just a small little bag that had my branding on it, and it had like maybe 6 Hershey's Kisses in it. And then I had another one, like I had a mug, I had night lights, I had probably 10 different prizes. The more expensive prize was like a glass ornament of a house. Had all these different prizes, and people were absolute jerks about it. So they'd spin the wheel. Oh, and one of them was like a little hand lotion. So here's an example. They spin the wheel, and then there's lotion, and there's like 10 different scents to choose from. Well, where are the unscented ones? I can't have unscented, or I have to have unscented. Can I have the mug instead? And I'm thinking, I only had so many mugs and it had stuff in it. I need to give away the 50-cent and dollar ones. And some people literally walked behind my table and took one of each prize and walked away. I spent more time. So thank goodness my husband was there, and he kind of managed the wheel while I talked to people in line, which I would highly recommend, because there were always 3 or 4 people in line, and he was charming with the older ladies and stuff, but everybody was like trying to negotiate, a different prize. So the idea of having, 2 different things and just alternating, and then also just having to bring the prizes in and all that. So yeah, what Felicia did was better.
Well, it's just, you have to trial and error it, right?
Right.
Because what works for my market may not work for yours. And so I had 2 guides, healthcare to housing and 2026 senior safety and red flags checklist. I will tell you that one, I couldn't keep them there at all. They were branded to my team, and they gave part 1, part 2, just like very tangible things like furniture walking, right? As a red flag. Of course, we all know about furniture walking, unopened piles of mail, piles of laundry, and then pro tips for assessing living conditions and making sure that you could be an advocate. And then it gives advocate insights. So I did that. And then I did, we talk about the golden rule. The golden rule is we want to make a move while it's still a choice, not a crisis, is what my golden rule for 2026 is for everyone that I talk to. And it's really facilitating the choice versus crisis meeting without causing family conflict. Because nobody wants their parent or their loved one to have crisis. And so it comes back down to the words that we use. And then I have like on, I don't know if you could see this, but like, oh, stupid thing. On the back page is my team's information. So it's like all three of us are on it so that it doesn't matter what event we go to, what listing we're at. We can have, because I got them printed for like 19 cents a piece, right? So it's like we can have these at every single listing. We can have them at every single event that we go to, and I printed hundreds of them for nothing, really. And this is what's important, because at the end of the day, you want to be branded no matter where you go. So, and I don't know how many of you do this, but my senior living companies love this as well. When it comes time for leaving stuff at your listings, I leave my guides, I leave my rack cards, and it depends on who is listing that property. If it's Mike, it's his. If it's John, it's his. If it's mine, it's mine. And then, of course, we have our MLS sheets and our brochures. But now I leave these guides because I have like little tiered lucite holders that everything folds in nicely so they can just grab it and go. And then I have partnered with several senior living companies, and whatever senior living community is the closest, I will leave some of their promo items or tchotchkes there, down to notepads, keychains, and I leave them as like a little with snacks. So we have our, you go to Sam's Club or Walmart and get some waters. I even went on to I want to say Vistaprint, maybe, or Sticker Mule, I can't remember. And I got labels, right? So I could take my sticker and put my sticker on the water bottle. My daughter does this, find a high school student that needs volunteer hours. Like my kid needs 100 of them. So she does this for me. She folds the guides in half, or staples things that needs to be stapled. We get listing packets together. Like I bring a whole bucket of things there, including my little snacks and all of the lucite stuff. And then it's just grab and go for me when I have to go to a listing. And it's cohesive, right? Because just because I'm selling a senior's home doesn't mean that I can't promote senior living at the same time. Now my senior living companies are like, what do you need? The other day, do you need any more notepads? I have a whole box of them here. Take some. And I'm like, yeah, they love those. And Hillary, you're familiar. Like Teresina's got some great goodies. And Gio's like, take everything. And I'm like, okay, you're overloading me. I'm like, I only have 2 listings that you can go to. I'm like, I'll pop by and grab more later. But it just helps us solidify, yes, we work with senior living communities. And it's something new that I'm starting this year, and it does have a good response so far. Yes, Miss Brenda.
Just a quick question. I've been approached by a senior living community that is currently under construction.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be opening later this year, let's say September.
Uh-huh.
So I love these ideas that you're coming up with. One of the things I had thought about doing was a downsizers club
Yeah.
for people that are, and they have a nice, because it's not built yet, they have a nice office space
Mm-hmm.
that has a conference room, a large table, lots of
Yeah.
chairs around it, where I could do the downsizers club to prepare their potential um, residents
Yeah.
uh, to get them ready so that we can sell their home and get them ready to move in, and have a little group, once they have put down their actual deposit, have a group of them together so that um, they can get to know their neighbors, so to speak. So you're
Absolutely.
going in and you know a bunch of people. Do you have any other ideas of things that I could do that would help me in, you know, doing more to um, obtain business and to
Yeah.
solidify my relationship with the individuals?
So Brenda, remind me, what city are you in? What
I'm
location?
in Maryland.
Okay, so it's cold. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm like thinking, this is where you have to be. So first off, I love that you're meeting, it's called Blue Sky when they're selling nothing in senior living. It's like they sell the blue
Oh,
sky.
okay.
And so when you're meeting with this senior living community, I want you to have a brass tacks conversation with them, like I've had with mine. You're going to put a lot of effort into doing a downsizing club. It's a lot of
Mhm.
your time, your effort, coordinating all of the pieces. And at the end of the day, you need to coordinate with them to see what partners they're going to use for home care, home health, senior move management, because they will have partners that they're
Mhm.
going to partner with to help feed their business.
Okay.
And so you want to make sure you're on the same page and not bringing in a partner that they maybe don't align with philosophically. Let's put it that way. You're also going to ask them a very important question. What other real estate agents are you working with?
They're not working with
Good.
anyone else other than me.
Because you want that in writing. And you want also an exclusivity with them. And then on top of it, you want to have a piece of collateral, double-sided sheet of paper, something that you can put in that matches their collateral for their
Mhm.
move-in packets or brochures.
Okay.
And that could be right now, and I'm all big on this, like emergency preparedness for winter, right? Because
Mhm.
it's a big one right now. And you can change it quarterly. And it can be right now as people are coming in, staying prepared for winter. In the spring, it could be something like I had mentioned before, the red flags, right? Red flags. Let me see if I make sure I say the right title that I put down. Senior safety and red flags checklist. And ask them if they would rotate these out, and you want them to have skin in the game because you're spending a lot of your time, effort, money, put it
Mhm.
that way, because you're going to have, with a downsizers club, you have to bring collateral with you. You have to bring tangible items there.
Mhm.
Also, your time and effort cost money.
Mhm.
And you have to make sure that they're going to put in the same amount of effort as you do. Because once you get that going, it flourishes.
Mhm.
And when you have a new building like that opening, they have a very large bucket of money for marketing. They all
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
And they have to do like Taco Tuesday
Mhm.
and, bring a friend because they need to get deposits in order
Mhm.
to make sure once those doors open, they got people moving in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Another idea that you could bring to their attention, which I'll drop to all of you, that I used in senior living, when I was an existing building and had several new builds around me, I approached those new builds and
Mhm.
created a respite program for those who needed to move in immediately,
Mhm.
and they could come move with me for a minimum, whatever minimum that we decided. So say it was a minimum of 2 months or 3 months. And
Mhm.
once their room was ready, they could move over to the new building.
Mhm.
But they didn't lose that client. That was
Mhm.
still their client.
Mhm.
But I filled my census up when I
Mhm.
had several open rooms,
Mhm.
several, it was like 20. And I was able to have a little bit of alleviation from that, and help out a new community and form a good partnership. So I'm just bringing that up because they're going to have people who need to move right now, but they want to move to whatever the name of the community is.
Mhm.
So they don't want to lose those people.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
how can they retain them? So this is a good retainer. And if you bring this idea to them, you're going to solve a solution that they're probably going to be up against very soon.
So let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying I develop a relationship with a neighboring community so that if, for example, someone comes and they say, yes, we want to move to your community A, but we need to move like yesterday. So
Correct.
we're able to move them to the temporary
Mm-hmm.
location.
Respite. It's got to be a
What?
respite furnished room.
Right. Okay. So that, and put their stuff, I guess, in storage or
Yep.
what have you. And that way we can sell their existing home really without them even, with them moved out of the home, which is my preference anyway.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
Yeah. And then I love that. Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Love
So
that.
it's you're thinking, it's not thinking outside the box, it's thinking within the box with the tools we have, right?
Mhm,
Because
mhm,
once we start identifying what our partner's issues are, and we all should know that you have to ask what their challenges are. Every
mhm,
community has them, every home care or home health has them.
mhm,
And when you identify, okay, and you may not have a solution right away, you say, let me think on that. How can I solve your problem? This is solving a really big problem that happens with all blue sky new build developments. They would get tons of deposits, but then only 20% of them move in because they had to go somewhere else or they changed their mind or
mm,
something happened, right?
mhm,
So this helps to solidify that. Um, and it helps you be able to be the connector of that to build those relationships as well, because they look at each other as competition. And it's really not, it's servicing a need for someone who has an immediate need right now, but it's a win-win for both sides. Now, each company might have their own caveat for how long that respite needs to be. A month is too short, 2 months, 3 months. They may have, I don't care if the room is ready in 55 days, you're still paying for 60 days, so they have to have those types of caveats, but it's definitely solving a direct need, and it helps you also become well known in multiple communities. So I gave that idea to 3 communities near me last week, and they all were like, I didn't think of that. And I was like, I don't know how you guys haven't thought about this. This place only has 5 rooms left, and you all have 50 rooms available between you. So how are we going to, help you get your census up, get your bonus, whatever the case may be, and solve a problem? But get those seniors to really ideally move out of the home. It's really challenging to list a home with them living in it. We know, and it creates a lot of anxiety. So this solves that problem. The other thing is going back to what David, what you had said earlier, is when I do meet with a partner, any partner, I ask them, what are the top 3 questions you need me to ask my clients to help get you business? And then I always have the top 3 questions I want them to ask for my business available. So it's one of those things that you want to come locked and loaded for. And it's reciprocal partnerships, right? And if we're asking them, we need to make sure that we're prepared for that. And
Yeah.
if you need some inspiration, um, you can just, sorry, I just had a text message come through. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like, um, but if you can already have them ready to go, you can ask AI, what 3 questions should you be asking for your senior business, and then tailor it and tweak it to what works for you and your business and your market.
Felicia, I have a question.
Yeah.
I missed what were the names of your brochures that you had?
My brochures that I had were 2026 Senior Safety and Red Flags Checklist.
Okay.
And underneath that, it says a guide for the sandwich generation, what to look when visiting mom and dad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Thanks.
And then my second one is healthcare to housing. Let me just make sure I have my taglines under there.
Do you have samples of these on the Facebook page as well?
I can put a sample up for them. A healthcare to housing checklist, a guide for the sandwich generation. I can put up a little sample of them.
I will give Felicia a plug right now. I'm in her senior coaching program, And I will say she is an overwhelming wealth of knowledge. So anyone that also wants to dig into this niche, let me tell you, it is worth every penny to have her and her information. So I'm going to plug her because I truly believe in it. And I've been following her since I saw her at a live conference, and she has just motivated me. So if anyone else wants to join us on this train, by all means, I think she is worth it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yes, what we're doing is we're just reorganizing everything. So it's kind of like, here's the blueprint, right, of how to do X, and then here's the template right there. So it's like, boom, boom, boom. Now you go and implement, right? So Lacey, I appreciate that. We work really hard to make sure that we are giving you all the highest and the best information to have you stand apart from everyone in your market, but then also so that you can step out on day one with some knowledge, definitely with all of the tools that you need to be successful, which is huge. So Lacey, I appreciate that. Oh, I love you guys. That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
because Miss Brenda was talking about her, like how to do the different things or what she needs help with. And I just instantly thought of that blueprint that you went through on the call and like worked through. And I was like, man, like Miss Brenda needs to pay to get in the class so she can get that blueprint, because that template is just like, it's worth it, like it is worth it. So
How do we get more information about the coaching program, Felicia?
Jess, can you drop it below, hun? Let's see,
Thank
we'll
you.
get it dropped below for you. And then the other thing too is like all of this takes time, we know. And 2 days ago, and I'm just gonna leave you guys with this. 2 days ago, I got a phone call from someone who the week before I saw at a networking event. And she said to me, geez, we need to partner more. From time to time, I get clients coming in and I never know who to use. Now I'm going to tell you, it's a funeral home. And it's a newer funeral home for me in my market because we have several. And I sat next to her and I was like, I don't know how we haven't talked about this, but yeah, absolutely. She called me 2 days ago with a lead at her desk, right on the phone, on speaker. Here she is. This is who you need to use. And, it's these things do happen. Now, I've known this person for, gosh, a year and a half. And I kind of always say to myself, just like you all, we tell you all, yes, you have to have your board of directors. You need to, work on people, but there's always some people who are missing from that. And so I always want to try and encompass everyone, but we all can't get to everybody at the same time. So give yourself grace, because once you start to identify who's on your bod, there's always going to be new people to layer in. Now, I already partnered with 2 funeral homes, but I've never gotten a lead from either of them. So this one, I've never even partnered before, and she already gave me a lead. So, it's just making sure that we don't miss out on those things. But at the same point in time, all of this is very exciting. And you're in the right time. I mean, what huge opportunity last week and this week to nurture your social and your leads with tips for staying warm in the winter and de-icing. And I've seen many of you take that leap and put stuff out there talking about it. And it's huge opportunity to get your name out there. And it doesn't matter if, like, for David and I who are down in Florida, it's cold for us down here and we got to cover our plants. So, it's happening everywhere. So this is huge. We're in the day and age right now where it's just low hanging fruit for you. And just go out, and your first post, your first video doesn't have to look great. Done is better than undone. So just keep doing it. I know it's going to turn into leads for you. I'm so proud of all of you. Brenda, I'm so thrilled about your blue sky connection. That's awesome. And now you're going to nurture that and you're going to get all those leads. So that's fabulous. So thank you so much. I am super proud of everyone today. I hope you all found today really helpful. And we had a guest today who I didn't introduce. It's Hillary. Hillary, before we go, wait, she's going to talk to us next week about something really important. So she came on to observe today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I invited Hillary to come on next week because, gosh, talk about a wealth of knowledge. But the stuff that she's going to tell you next week is going to blow your socks off, number one. So anyone you know who wants to be in this niche, they've got to be here next week. But tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, absolutely. I have a special place in my heart in supporting women through various transitions. And one of the things that I witness in my day job as an employee of a company that helps people qualify for Medicaid when one is in a skilled nursing facility. So Medicaid's a federal government program, but every state manages those funds differently. But what I witness, especially in couples where one is in a skilled nursing facility, they're unnecessarily paying privately when they don't have to because they hear the word Medicaid and they get offended by it and they think they don't qualify and then they don't take advantage of it. So one of the biggest things that I'm trying to help people understand, at least in the state of Florida, anyone can qualify for Medicaid, so they're not paying privately, they're not spending down their money when they don't have to, because the care is the same if they're paying privately. It's not like you're in a wing with cobwebs and dark and no staff or whatever. It's not like that. So the reason why I think it's important to this group is because a lot of times it tends to be the husband that goes into the skilled nursing and the wife is home alone and she's starting to realize the vulnerability of that, and maybe her home isn't the best place for her. So making sure that I'm taking care of the finance as far as the husband is concerned gives a little more space to talk about some of the things that is going to be very relevant to what you can do for them too.
And it's every time I listen to her, I learn something new. So it doesn't matter what state you're in. I think it's important to know a little bit about this so that you can go and find your own Hillary, and maybe she has a platform to help with that too, in your neck of the woods to get those questions answered effectively and how you can best help your client. So she'll be on as a guest for us next week, and then the week after, I'm sharing some of my time with some of my friends colleagues, I should say, who I became friends with because I know, like, and trust them, but they're amazing. On February 11th, we're going to have Ruth Lattice. She's a financial advisor who does strategic financial planning for money move management, plan distribution strategies
She's
when
awesome.
when selling a home and moving from various states. And she calls it an entire family transition plan. And she is licensed in all states in the US, but she also is a wealth of knowledge for 1031 exchanges and capital gains. And I think it's really important for you all to get a glimpse of who you can be partnering in with your market, and also just to gain some more great knowledge for your seniors. So I'm trying to pepper these in as everyone's got busy schedules happening. So look forward to the next couple of Wednesdays to be really, really educational. Well, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for popping on, Hillary, and for letting me put you on the spot. I appreciate that. And I hope you all have a great day. Know that you could always reach out to me. Sometimes email is the best. If you reach out to me on Facebook, most of you know that my Facebook is pre-planned. So I try not to spend my day on
Socials.
email on social. Yeah, I try and be in the moment, and then I look late at night. So just that's my email. You could always reach out to me if you have any questions. and I would be happy to help you. And Jess, thanks for putting that in up above. And we hope you'll have a great day. Thank you. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Give me just a second, Brenda. I'm gonna pull up her email address. Um, Hold on, buddy. Let's see. It is. Oops. Hold on, buddy.
I have it. I have it. Thank you.
Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect. Have
Yeah.
a great day. Bye.